Hi there, retro games fans. This is Andy C from Pieces of 8-Bit. Today we're going to be looking at a game called Riven, which is the second in a series of games called Myst. There are a number of games. In fact, it's still being produced today. Myst has been running since 1993. When the first game came out on PC and was a bestseller at the time. Riven came out in 1997, and to me is my favourite of the Myst series. I've played quite a few of them. Up until I think Myst 4, possibly 5. They are stunning games. They're generally pre-rendered. At the time when the sort of standard of graphics wasn't as high as what you might expect today, the way to get around that and to produce beautifully crafted worlds, you would use pre-rendering to do that. So Riven, when it came out in 1997, is still in fact one of the most beautiful games that I've ever played. It is absolutely stunning. You're transported to a world through essentially like a linking book, as you'll see a little bit in the intro in a moment, and you are transported to these series of islands where there are a number of quite complex, quite hard puzzles to solve. Again, at a time before the internet, getting walkthroughs was difficult. There were walkthroughs. If you really got stuck on puzzles, the general advice was don't go and find a walkthrough somewhere, but try and get some advice from someone who's played to give you a bit of a nod or a hint in the right direction. I had a bit of a look at this game the other day, just to kind of re-familiarise myself with it, and I don't really remember a lot of the puzzles. I got so far into it, and I remember just how difficult and how challenging the puzzles are. It's a very grown-up game. It is, as I say, very stunning. What I intend to do in my walkthrough today is to only take you through sort of the first 15-20 minutes of the game, because the nature of this game is just that if I took you a long way through it, I would just spoil it for you. So I definitely recommend going to have a look at it. There are a number of ways to play it. It's been re-released, so you can find it on, I think it's on GOG.com. I'll check and pop a link in the description for you. I actually was fortunate enough that as I was digging around through my attic, I found Riven. I thought I'd chucked it away years ago, and in fact I found all the Myst games 1 through 4. So it may be that I'll come back and review some of the other ones later on, but this was the one that I really wanted to review. This is the one that I liked the most. If you've got the original discs and you're struggling to get them to run, you can use ScumVM to run the game. You can put the discs onto there and transfer them across. Obviously, like I said, you can find them online as well. So yeah, fantastic game. Hope you really enjoy this review. I'm gonna go get stuck in. See you there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a new game started. So distributed by Ubisoft, as you can see there, but the company that actually produced this is a company called Cyan, who are in fact one of the, I think they are the oldest, longest surviving independent game house in North America. So been going a long time, since the mid to late 80s. Everything about this game, even this intro the sequence at the beginning here, impressed me, and this was their kind of MO, really, with Cyan, was to create these incredible beautiful environments. So we're going to watch the intro sequence just to give you a bit of a flavour of what's going on, and then we'll dive straight into the game.
Thank God you've returned. I need your help. There's a great deal of history that you should know, but I'm afraid that I must continue my writing. Here. Most of what you'll need to know is in there. Keep it well hidden. For reasons you'll discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book back here to Dunny. But it's actually a one-man prison. You'll need it, I'm afraid. flourish again. Once you've found Catherine, signal me, and I'll come with a linking book to bring us back. There's also a chance, if this all goes well, that I might be able to get you back to the place that you came from.
So here we go, we are in Riven. Interesting startup sequence. Feels like the start of a movie. The only thing that gives it away that it's older is just the resolution of the video itself. But yeah, got the idea with the linking book there. So who's this chap here then? You can let me out, buddy. So if you give me the book, I'll let you out. Or I'll just take the book. My guess is that as sort of a local, maybe he can't read the book, or perhaps he's been shot, maybe. Still stuck in this cage. Oh, that's dark. Okay. So now what? I still don't have mouse control, so we're still in a cutscene here, I think. Ah. Who's this odd-looking person here? Gonna leave my book? Of course you're not gonna leave my book. Okay, so here we go. Now, what you'll notice straight away is almost sort of like a photograph on the screen, which is essentially what it is. These are all pre-rendered, and we're going to click around. So there's the occasional sort of cutscene, as you'll see, but let's get moving. Oh, that's the back of the lift. We don't need that. Okay. All right. So we're going to just head up these stairs here. Already you're starting to get an idea for the sort of environment that we're in. There are loads of places to explore, lots of things to find and discover, and there's puzzles everywhere. So for instance, straight away, this is a puzzle that you'll probably get to, well, you almost certainly will if you play it. We'll get to work out later, so I'll just show you the sorts of things that we've got. We go straight into a cutscene. Everything, like I say, is point and click. So you don't carry anything with you. Ultimately, what you're doing is solving puzzles. One thing that I would strongly recommend, in fact, it's pretty much a must, is that you'll need a notebook and a pen, because you're going to find clues all the way around, and you're kind of keeping track of that. Now, that might sound like a really odd thing or a really boring thing to do, but it's really not, and it's a great way of sort of helping to sort of demystify, excuse the pun, the puzzles. So let's have a look in here. So you can see the room has moved around, and we now can't enter the room. So we click the button again. The room's going to move a second time. I'm just waiting for the animation to finish. You can click through the animations as well if you really want to, but to be honest with you, the beauty of this game is also in some of these pre-rendered videos. And you can see the room's now moved and there's a gate on the other side. You get the idea that basically as you unlock things, gates might open, you'll be able to go into the room. There's all sorts of things. There's numbers on the floor, all sorts of things like that. Well, this puzzle's for later, so let's come back to that in a short time. So let's go up here. Down this corridor here. Okay, so there's a door. Now at the moment I'm working from memory, so there are things that I still recall, but certainly as I played through the game the other day, there were very quickly I ran into a situation where I couldn't remember how to play anymore. It's kind of a nuisance. Let's just have a look over here quickly. Okay, so we've got a room with some pillars in it. As we pull this lever. Door opens. I happen to know that at this point that's probably all we need to do in here. We'll just have a look around. You do spend a lot of time moving around and clicking on things, and I do am aware that you're probably hearing my mouse click a whole bunch of times. So what do we got here? This is a just like a... Oh, okay, I see. It's like a station or something, I think. Okay. Alright. Okay, so let's go back out here. I think that was the... Yeah, that was that closing behind us. Alright. Alright, so let's go back out here. We don't want to go back up that way. Let's go down the bottom here. Okay. I say like in surprise, I already knew this anyway. This is the room with the pillars in it, and obviously the gate is now open. So had we come down here before, that gate, that door wouldn't have been opened, and we wouldn't be able to go anywhere. Alright, so let's wander out here. So this is, as you probably recognise, we have the two cameras on the wall there. This is the view from the second camera. Okay, so let's go over here and press this button. Now, this is one of my favourite animations in the game, actually, as you'll see in a second. Not this bit, but the bit when we actually get onto this. So, it's a little maglev train thing that's coming along here. So let's just watch the animation of that pulling in. Alright, so let's go get in there. There's no real danger at any point in this game. You can't really die. So you don't have to worry about sort of walking off cliffs or anything else like that, or getting attacked by anything, or having to do any combat. There's just none of that. It is purely exploration and puzzle solving. So it's really good for the brain. Alright, let's just turn ourselves around. Let's go. And like I said before, this is one of many of these sort of animations that are really fun to watch. This would be fantastic as a sort of VR type adaptation, I reckon. So this brings us to one of the other islands, of which there are quite a few. I think there's about 5 islands that you explore in total. imagine that the production of this game, you know, producing these 3D visuals and hooking them all together, these pre-rendered visuals would have been a huge amount of work. Anything else on this beach to explore? Ah, what's this? Okay. Interesting. So this is another example, and I can't for the life of me remember what this one's for. This is another example of where you really do want to have your pen and paper to make notes there. Obviously, I'm only doing a kind of brief walkthrough with you, so I'm not going to keep notes myself. Another button to press. What does that do? Nothing at the moment. Okay. Right, let's head down these steps here. Now this is, I remember this is another fantastic little attention to detail. There's loads of these little sort of animations here. So this is a sort of native dinosaur looking type creature that just comes up here, gets a bit startled and disappears. And you'll see that all the way through the game, little sort of animations of bugs or people running away. See even the water effect here. And again, remembering that this is 1997, this was all absolutely mind-blowing. Let's continue up these steps here. Where does this take us? Okay, another little animation coming up here. One thing you realise as you get further in is that the locals are particularly wary of you as a visitor. So that's a bit of an alarm, telling everybody to kind of go away. And as you explore later on, and you sort of come to a little village, and you'll occasionally see a person, and they'll kind of scurry into their hut. I shouldn't go down that way at all, did I? Let's head back this way for a moment, because I know where I want to go. I don't want to do too much exploration, as I say. I don't want to kind of spoil it for you. All right. So we can wander along here. I'll show you another one of these little animations briefly, and then I'll stop spoiling everything for you. It just really helps to kind of immerse you in this tropical world that you're in, and it is, as you can see, really, really beautiful. I mean, obviously, you know, the resolution of the pre-renders is pretty low nowadays, but like I say, for the time it looked incredible, and I still think it looks absolutely beautiful now. I think it really is very playable. Right, so I'm going to take you to one of the other islands now. So we've got another animation coming up, and we're going to show you a classic, one of the classic puzzles that a lot of people will immediately recognise from Riven. And we'll go a little further, and then we'll finish and wash out. So this is another one of my favourites. This is probably, I think, out of all of the sequences, this is probably my favourite one. I really do like this sort of minecart animation. You'll notice we go under the water in a second. There seems to be this ability to control water to keep it kind of like in check, so you can create these kind of tunnels. So we're actually tunneling through water at the moment, and there's lots of that. You'll see little sort of ladders that you can climb down that sort of apparently go through the water. All really lovely sort of visual effects at the time. Okay, so coming to a bit more of a barren looking island. I think this one's called Crater Island, if I'm not much mistaken. Okay. I can just watch these animations over and over. Alright. Now we drop out. Slide down. Okay, so we're at a big lake, and I remember coming to this puzzle for the very first time, and I spent a lot of time here. working out what's going on. I happen to know what's going on now, so I'm hoping I can still remember. Even though I only played this a few days ago, I still have to think about what I'm doing. So we come out to the middle of the island here to get a bit of a better look. We've got a number of pipes, 1, 2, 3, 4 pipes that go off in various different directions. We don't have the luxury of being able to look around, which is a bit of a nuisance, but you sort of get the idea that each of these pipes goes off to a different location. So we've got one disappearing up the top there, and then we've got one going over here back to the little sort of minecart thing. One goes... Where's one of them go? One goes over to this little sort of boiler unit here. I'm not entirely sure where the other one goes. But it's okay. For now, I'll let you work that out yourselves. So we're going to come over to this boiler unit here. We're going to try going in here. We can't, it's locked, and you can see that this sort of red meter here, which suggests that we can't get in there, that something's full. You may have noticed underneath there was some flames, so it's like a big boiler. Obviously there's some water bubbling there. So I think what we need to do is turn the heat off. So let's just do that first. So that's the gas supply. And then I think we need to drain it. But I think to drain it, I think we've got to go and shift that other pipe out in the middle of the lake. And you'll see, I mean, obviously I kind of vaguely remember what it is I'm supposed to do. Even though I only played this a couple of days ago, I still haven't quite done it right first time for the purposes of demonstration. Let's move this here. Alright. And then let's go back over here. You see the flames have gone off now. There was little blue flames under there that was boiling the water. Still don't think we can go in here. Oh, we can. Okay, but I think there's still water in here, so let's just have a look. So it's not hot anymore. But we've still got water in here. You can see, oh, there's a ladder here, so we're going to need to go down there. But we can't at the moment because there's water in there, so let's go back down here. Let's just pull this lever here. I think there is still a step we're missing. Oh, there isn't. Okay, that's fine. Alright, now I feel like there is... we're going to need to fill this back up again later and get that boiler running again for some reason. And I don't remember that for sure. What I just did there, actually, one thing I did remember to do, if you look here, this actually raises the floor inside. So we're just going to go back over this way, go in here. Right. Okay, so we're going to head down this tunnel here, I think. Oh no, we haven't done this right. It didn't raise the floor at all. Right, okay, let's try this again. Aha. That did something. That was the one. Pulled the wrong lever. I have no idea what that other lever did. I guess we'll find out later. Alright. Okay, animation is now finished. So just incidentally, where we're trying to go, let me just show you. So what we need to do is show you kind of the next bit is to get up to there. Without boring you with the details, basically, if we try and go up there at the moment, there's a little hatch that's shut. So we have to find an alternative route. And you can see there's this pipe here that's running all the way up here to the top. So that's where we want to go. And that pipe, of course, runs underneath here. So you've got to be looking for absolutely everything to give you a clue as to where to go next. You can see that there's somewhere to go. So what you want to be doing is trying to work out how to get up there. So that's how we need to get up there. And now the floor is raised, we can get up to the ladder. And we can go down that pipe. Which, if it was real life, that would be a big fat nope from me as someone who is kind of claustrophobic. Right, we're just going to click down this pipe until we see daylight. There we go. And we're now at the top of this rocky outcrop. And we're just going to sort of walk around this way. That's the path. There we go. Okay, let's just open the little hatch so we've got a shortcut for later. There we are. Alright. Okay. Now this is one thing I do remember, and this will be quite useful because I remember this because it took me ages to realise if you shut the doors, there are two little walkways either side, and these are the sorts of things that will really catch you out. Because you'll be like, where the heck do I go next? And you get really, really stuck. Let's put this lever. Alright. So if you remember, there was that gun that we were talking about earlier. And I think this is his lab. You can't get in, it is locked. I happen to know how to get in there, so let's just go ahead and do that. So we come back to here. As you can see, loads of places to explore. I'm not going to go down there. I'll let you discover that for yourself later on. It's not something we need right now. So let's come back up to the doors. You notice I pulled a lever when I was out on that walkway there. That was important. I needed that for this, basically. And a lot of these things are kind of trial and error. You'll be like, okay, how do I do this or this? You know, I'd pull a lever here and it wouldn't do anything, and I'd be like, okay, well there must be some power or some lever that I need to find somewhere else, which you go on a hunt for. All right, so let's pull it over. I can't remember the significance of this. All I know is that I've got to do it. Oh, I obviously haven't done something right because that hasn't worked. Okay. Let's see if there's any other. There'll be buttons and levers all over the place. What I want to do is I want to get up there. So let's go back out here again. Did I actually pull this lever or did I imagine it? Maybe I didn't. Felt like that was doing something. Maybe I did it and did it again and turned it off. I don't know. I'm sure you'll all tell me. Now that fan's spinning now. That's new. Alright, so let's pull this lever again. Let's close this off and pull the lever again. Maybe we don't want the fan to spin. Nope. We definitely don't want to open the doors. That's not helpful at all. Let's close that back off. Maybe we were already right. Maybe we were right the first time. You see, I've already played this game only a couple of days ago and I'm already confused, even though I've already solved this puzzle once before. Let's pull that. Can I actually go? No. Okay. Right. Maybe that was on. Maybe I turned it off. Maybe we were right the first time. Okay. I apologise for all the clicking. Obviously there is a lot of mouse clicking that needs to happen. Okay, that is now shut. Maybe I can just go straight up there. I can. Oh. Had it right the first time. Interesting. Okay. Right. Now, I happen to know that there is a lot of reading in this game. Unlike a lot of games, especially when you find certain games where you find a manuscript, you know, things like Skyrim, you might find books and other bits and pieces, and they'll have text in, and some of it's lovely, very nicely written, but a lot of the time it doesn't really add to anything. It doesn't really count. These books, on the other hand, are actually quite useful, especially you may not want to necessarily read all the text, but there are quite often little diagrams that will give you clues as to how to solve some of the puzzles. For instance, here we go, look. So probably at this moment this doesn't mean a great deal, but you'll spot something later on where you think, ah, okay, I've seen that before, and I'll want to make some notes on that, and the text will probably tell you what's happening. I'm not obviously going to bore you with reading all of this. You see this sort of cage thing here. We've seen something very similar to that at the beginning. We go, here's the little, you remember the little balls we saw in the wall? They have the symbols on. One of those look very like that. So we can skip through. There's a dome, we haven't seen that yet. Simple characters. So there's lots of notes you can make. You might want to screenshot it, or you might want to just make a few notes in your book. It's kind of nice making notes for yourself. I quite like that puzzle solving aspect of this game. It's quite cool. But yes, this is Gan's lab. He's the bad guy, basically. Let's have a look. Is there anything else we can look at? Some more notes here to read. Again, oh, hang on, what's this? Ah, okay. So we've been looking at that, and we've been noting a 3. I think, well, actually I say 3, I think that's just a symbol. I don't think that actually necessarily means 3 in Roman numerals. Okay, lots of things to explore in here. Again, I'm not going to go and explore everything and click on everything. There's lots of little animations for bits of interactive equipment. Let's go here. I think that's unlocked the door. It has. So that's now a bit of a shortcut back to where we were, so we won't need to go back through the fan again. So we can go head back in here. So I'm just going to show you a little bit more, and then I'm going to wrap up. But I hope you're enjoying this so far. This game is actually surprisingly addictive, despite the fact that puzzles can be incredibly challenging and really hard work. It is really good, and it is a real brain teaser, which I like too. You know, just back at that boiler house, working out where all the pipes go and switching things on and switching things off. And you need to come back there later. There are other things that you've got to do to get things moving and happening. You've got to sort of remember that that's the central point to that island, and that's something you need to fix. It's quite cool. So we've got another one of these little maglev things here. So let's just run across here. We'll go to one more island, show you a little bit more, and then we'll leave it there, so you can come and have a play yourself and enjoy exploring Riven. Okay, here we go. I love all these little sort of mechanisms for getting about and transporting around. There are more, there's quite a few more actually that you do later on. That was quite a short one. I think I'm just going to try something here, because I have this sneaking suspicion. If I turn around, I think you can get out the other side. I'm just trying this out for myself. Can I get out? Did I just imagine that? Yes! Ha! I'd forgotten about that. Interesting. I think this was some. I just had this weird sort of recollection. I've not been back through here for a while. This weird recollection that there was something else to do here. Okay, there's nothing much I can do in here at the moment. Oh, hang on, there's a lever here. What does this do? Oh, we've got an animation. Interesting. Interesting. Ah. Well, this is very reminiscent of the original Myst, actually. It's got a definite feel. Wow. Okay. I'm now in, well, I say uncharted territory. I'm in territory that I haven't explored for quite some time. Well, let's give this a go. I was going to show you something different, but I think I'll have a look at this, because for me this is new exploration again, because I had completely forgotten about this part. I assume we're going to go underwater. This is working. Yeah, so it feels that way. Obviously the pre-rendered nature of this means you can't look around as things are going. Obviously in modern games now you'd have a better standard of actual rendered on the fly graphics, but you got to remember this game is what, 27 years old now. Okay, what's down here? Oh, one of those little details there. I wonder if we go and follow that person, what happens? Well, what happens is they nick my transport, although I suppose it's fairly easy to call it back. It's actually kind of cool seeing the maglev run from the sideline, actually. Okay, what happens if we walk up here? Wow. Ah, now there's another one of these sort of chair-looking things here. We appear to be under the water. I think. Let's see, what do these do? Interesting. Okay. Some clues here. So here we go. We're right into a typical Riven puzzle now. So some of the symbols that we've seen around the island already. I assume. There we go. We can move things around. I have no idea what it is I'm supposed to do here. But straight away, you're into a puzzle. We've got different colours, we've got different symbols, and this is a classic Riven puzzle. This is what it's all about. So you'll pick up clues as you go around the island. Sometimes you can figure them out on the fly. As you get to these puzzles, you can kind of work them out straight away. But okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it now. I'm going to let you come and do the exploration for yourselves. This is, as I say, a fantastic game, and I don't want to spoil it by moving around all over the map and showing you all the animations and all how to solve all the puzzles. That will really spoil it for you. So let's wrap up, and I'll tell you what I thought. So what did you think about that? Still a really lovely game to play. In fact, I really feel like I want to go back and play it all through once again. It was a much longer walkthrough than I planned at the beginning of this. I said 15-20 minutes. I don't think I really got very far into the game, and I was playing for about half an hour there. Obviously, quite a bit of that time is taken up with the cutscenes. But yeah, time just flies when you're playing it, you know, when you're working those puzzles out. What I particularly like about it as well, you know, especially that last puzzle that I showed you there, it's very reminiscent of kind of modern escape rooms. So if you're kind of into that sort of nature of puzzle solving, making notes, that kind of thing, then this game is definitely for you. I do wonder whether I can dig out the original notebook. When I bought this, I think I have the special edition version of this. If you can trace one of those down, definitely worth a buy. It comes with a beautiful little notebook that you can obviously pop your notes in. I don't think I've got it anymore. Regrettably, I think I've thrown it out, which is a real shame. But yeah, so definitely recommend going and playing this, especially if you're someone that enjoys solving puzzles. You know, it's no time constraints. There's no sort of peril or combat or anything else like that involved. It is pure puzzle solving and exploration, which is fantastic. As I mentioned before, you can play this game on a number of platforms. You can download it. There's I think it's a remastered version, but you certainly can download it and pay for it and play for it now. If you happen to own a copy of it, it will run on Windows and Mac. I did struggle a little bit getting the discs running on my modern Mac. There are ways of doing it, which I won't go into now, of getting those discs up and running. You can play it in the Scum VM emulator. In fact, there are a number of games that run in the Scum VM engine, such as Sam & Max Hit the Road and Day of the Tentacle, a couple of games which I will be looking at in the future. So it's worth picking up anyway. If you happen to own those games, then you can play those in there as well, and they'll work on any platform, which is really cool. In fact, I used to get Scum VM running on a jailbroken PSP some probably well over 10 years ago. So I would have been able to play Riven on there, which would have been kind of interesting. But yes, I'll probably just leave it there. Go find a copy of Riven. If you want to play Myst, the sort of the game that came before this, by all means go check that out. I don't enjoy Myst as much. I played Riven first, and I went back and played Myst later on afterwards, and I actually found it a little bit more frustrating. I think Riven is the one where they really kind of up their game. The sequels to Riven as well and Myst are also really good. 3 and 4 I particularly remember playing. I picked up 4 actually when I was in the States, before it even came out in the UK. I was so excited about it coming out that I really wanted to play it. Really enjoyed that, and as the games progress, there's more animation, there's better pre-rendering, and it's a bit more flexible in terms of the control mechanisms. So yeah, definitely worth checking those out as well. But if you're going to start anywhere, definitely recommend starting with Riven. As I say, go check it out. It's relatively inexpensive. It will occupy your mind for many hours. Until the next time, as always, my ask, if you could please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. It helps me to make more of these videos. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too long and too boring. We're going to be going back and looking at some more games from the 90s in the not too distant future. So join me then, and until that time, happy gaming. See you soon. Bye bye.